Good day, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank um, members of our Brex movement, for inviting me to share my reflections on the Gospel of Luke, chapter 12, verses 1 to 7. And it is also the fiesta of Saint Teresa of Avila, and October 15 to 2021. This is a good opportunity also to share important reflections, uh, especially in times of the pandemic. So, what I'm going to do today is to read the Gospel, chapter 12, verses 1 to 7, and then I will share some points as a context to these particular verses. Uh, we call it a gospel exposition, presenting the background, especially the whole chapter of Saint Luke, of 12 Saint Luke, and I will share some important points as a reflection, and then at the end, I will share also what I think the call, the challenge of the Lord for all of us in our life nowadays. So let us have now the readings. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke. May the Lord be in my mind, in my lips, and in my heart, so that I may proclaim the Word of God. Meanwhile, such a numerous crowd that gathered that they crushed one another. Then Jesus spoke to his disciples in this way: beware of the yeast of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. Nothing is covered that will not be uncovered, or hidden that will not be made known. Whatever you have said in the darkness will be heard in daylight, and what you have whispered in hidden places will be proclaimed from the housetops. I tell you, my friends, do not fear those who put to death the body, and after that can do no more. But I will tell you whom to fear. Fear the one who, after killing you, is able to throw you into hell. This one you must fear. Don't you get 5 sparrows for 2 pennies? Yet not one of them has been forgotten by God. Even the hairs of your head hath been numbered. Don't be afraid. Are you less worthy in the eyes of God than many sparrows? My dear friends, the gospel of the Lord. Praise be to you, Jesus Christ. Some points as a context, as a background to the whole chapter 12 of St. Luke. This chapter of St. Luke tells us about Jesus charting the course for his disciples. Jesus intended to navigate life for his disciples, to teach them how to live successfully. On this particular chapter of 12 of St. Luke, Jesus provided good instructions for his disciples on issues of life such as integrity, anxiety, convictions, problem solving, greed, jealousy, priorities, and trusting in God. In this chapter also, Jesus gives us his own perspective of success. Like the importance of decisions in our life. We have to know the truth and accept it. Second, about servanthood. We have to find the need and feel it. And he talks also about determination. We must face the challenge and meet it. About sacrifice, we often hear Jesus saying we must lose our life to find it. Preparation, this is also important reminder to us. We must develop a plan and follow it. And also the importance, the value of action. We must discover God's will and we have to follow it in our life. And we have also to realize our giftedness. We must find that we have a lot of talents, a lot of gifts, and we have to share them with others. And he talks also about durability. We must be tenacious and we have to finish our work well. So these are important perspective of elements in a successful life that Jesus is providing us, and it's good to see them. It's in that whole chapter of 12. Now we go back to the verses 1 to 7. In these verses, Jesus talks about the yeast of the Pharisees. Alam naman natin yung yeast, libadora, makes the bread rise, nagpapalaki. The yeast of the Pharisees, which is pride or hypocrisy, that pops them up, nagyayabang, nagpapasikat, but fail to respond to the needs of people. Pride is considered as one of the original sins. And pride destroys. Destroys all of us, destroys life. So that's the first point that I want to reflect on, the lessons that we can get from the verses 1 to 7, about the yeast, about the libadora. Sana ang libadora natin ay about the love, the service, the care, the faith that we have in God. Second item that in those verses is this, about truth. Jesus says, nothing that is hidden that will be not known or made known. Walang tinatago na hindi mailalabas, mabubulgar. So, ito yung sinasabi, truth, ang katotohanan, sa gitna ng mga maskara, cover-ups, will always triumph at the end. So, magandang paalala ng Panginoon dito sa gospel na ito. Truth will always triumph at the end. Kahit anong pang gagawin nating pag-cover up niyan, kahit anong pang gusto nating maskara na isusuot, malalantad na rin ang totoo. And then the third point in the gospel is also this. Jesus assures us, do not fear. This is very important item, especially during this pandemic. Punong-puno ang puso natin ng takot. Hindi lang takot na sa infection, pero takot na mawalan ng trabaho, mawalan ng mahal sa buhay, talagang mawalan ng pagkain. It's really very threatening na makita natin, na maramdaman natin na we can lose anything, anytime. No? So timely ito na sinasabi ni Jesus. Do not be afraid or do not fear. Do not fear those who can kill the body, but after that can do no more. Fear the one who, after killing you, is able to throw you to hell. No? So parang paalala niya, no? Na minsan, no, may mga tao na pinipigilan tayo na magsalita ng totoo, inuusig tayo dahil ginagawa natin ang mabuti. Kapag ini-expose natin yung katotohanan, no, kung pipigilan ka, patatamikin ka, papatayin ka. So Jesus assures us, no, do not be afraid. Dapat ang katakautan natin yung Diyos na hindi lang may control sa buhay natin, hindi lang pumapatay sa physical body natin, kundi tapon pa tayo sa impyerno. So in this way, Jesus tells us we must focus ourselves on God. We put our gaze beyond the material world, ang buhay natin na hindi lamang dito sa mundo. No? We are in pilgrimage. We are going to Him, to His kingdom. No? Kaya we have to focus on that. And we continue to live in truth and in goodness, because this is the only way, no, to have a meaningful and an assurance of a joyful and peaceful life. No? So, my brothers and sisters, these are the three important lessons or points, reflections in the gospel that we have just read. No, so Jesus reminds us of the yeast, no, not of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy or pride, but our life in faith, our love, and our commitment to service to Him and to one another, especially the poor, and of course our stand for the truth, you know, which is very important, and of course our resolve not to fear, no, because fear can paralyze us, can destroy us. So what's the call now, the challenge for all of us, especially in this pandemic time? First, I want to reflect on or share on the call to renewal. This is also what Saint Teresa of Avila did in her life. No? Gusto niya talaga magkaroon ng pagbabago. Hindi lang for the sake of change or renewal, pero yung ano ba, yung aspiration, quest for holiness, no, for perfection. Hindi tayo magkontinto, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na, okay na yan, no, tama na yan. Parang being minimal all the time is not really a concern, or it's not really the word of God, no. For us, it is really our continuing quest, no, to be perfect, to be holy, no, not only no, in the eyes of this world, but especially with God, no. So importante renewal. Tuloy natin, no, ang pagbabago, no, huwag tayong huminto, huwag tayong ma-discourage, frustrated, huwag nating sabihin na wala nang pag-asa, ganun na talaga, no, wala nang mangyari, no. Hindi, no, ang sinasabi sa atin ngayon, let us continue, no, what we have, or let us start a movement for renewal, and sana tuloy-tuloy na yan, no, pagbabago. No, we are also facing a big challenge of elections, no, on May 2022, and this is an opportunity for us to exercise our rights of suffrage, and this is an occasion uh, to have an opportunity to an opportunity to renew, our country, by electing leaders who have the hearts of the servants, or we call it servants' hearts. So yan importante, na tingnan natin. Pangalawa, um, yung the call to humility. Yan ang gusto ng Panginoon sa atin. Huwag tayong magyayabang gaya ng mga Parisiyo, na parang tayo na ang sikat, tayo lang may kakayahan, believe tayo sa sarili natin palagi. Yan ang nakakasira, di ba? uh, Jesus reminds us, beware of that kind of yeast, the yeast of the Pharisees. Um, we have to follow him. He is meek and humble of heart. That makes a lot of, that provides us a power to change, a power to renew our life, renew our society. Yan importante. Sense of the value of humility is important to develop in us. So bilang mga nananampalataya, bilang mga membro ng ating Prex movement, and people who are active in the church, let us continue to be humble, because this is a road to real renewal of our life, of our church. And lastly, we need to become servants. Jesus is the model of a servant life, servant leader, servant volunteer. Lahat tayo ay mga lingkod, mga alagad. Our life is a life for service. Sana ito yung palagi nating iniisip. Na at the end of the day, ano ang naitulong natin sa Panginoon, ano naitulong natin sa kapwa natin, lalo na sa nangangailangan. At the end of the day, ang itanong ng Panginoon sa atin ay, naglingkod ba tayo ng totoo, ng seryoso? Hindi lang yung pakitang tao. So ito yung panawagan or call, a challenge to all of us to become servant leaders, in our own way, to have that willingness to serve, especially the poor and the vulnerable in our community today. So these calls, these challenges, sana ay maging opportunity natin to be faithful to the Lord, maging opportunity natin to be His instruments, to be His ministers, to continue to serve His people, and to journey with His people, and to bring them, and to accompany them, towards that kingdom, the kingdom of peace, the kingdom of justice, the kingdom of life. So thank you very much, and God bless you all.